everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and today it is day 5 of Scraptember, and today's prompt is actually a sketch. So this year, all 4 of us, so Jess and myself, and then Chrissy from Chrissy's Beautiful Life and Laura Alberts, have all created a sketch for this series. So there will be 4 sketch challenges for the month, and mine is the first one. So you can see my sketch in the top left of the screen there. It's a kind of grid type sketch using 4 photos. Well, I don't use 4, I only use 3, but I still create a grid layout. It's a very basic sketch. I sort of wanted to leave it open for people to make their own. I've only got 2 embellishment clusters, which I go with on this layout. I think even number of embellishment clusters works really well on a grid type layout, because usually you're creating something that's a little bit more symmetrical, and often there's 4 elements on the page or more, depending on what type of grid you create. But I find it lends itself quite well to even numbers of things. I know most of the time we say that odd numbers of things are more appealing to the eye, and often we use the rule of 3s in scrapbooking. When I say rule, I mean that very loosely as a design principle. But yeah, I find even numbers work quite well in grid layouts. So I have created 2 embellishment clusters on my sketch. Sorry, I'm getting a frog in my throat. That's because this is the 5th voiceover I've done today. Yes, and I am going to stick fairly closely to my sketch, I think. I'll let you be the judge when you see the final layout, but I'm really pleased with how it came together, and I'm feeling like it's a pretty good representation of my sketch. So I've got these series of 3 photos of Lincoln eating an ice cream. It's not his first time he tasted ice cream, but it was his first time having his own ice cream cone. It's actually a mini drumstick. Don't know if you have them in other countries, but they're an ice cream that's called a drumstick here. And it's just like a waffle cone with ice cream, and then it's got chocolate and nuts on the top, but it's a mini version, so quite easy for a 3.5-year-old to hold in his hand, or a 3-year-old at this point. And he was loving it. So I documented those photos, knew I wanted to scrap them in 12 by 12, so I had printed them out, and I thought, they would work quite well with this sketch. So I also ended up pulling from the Maggie Holmes Sunny Days collection, because this photo is it in summer? Oh, it's the 3rd of March. And so I pulled out one of the cut aparts from the cut apart sheet, or it might be an ephemera from the ephemera collection. Actually, she had really large ephemera pieces in this collection, and it's of the seashells, and I'm sort of using that in place of my 4th photo. So I'm still creating my grid, I just didn't have 4 photos, and so I'm creating a sort of a 4th 3x4 element to create that 4th photo effect. I'm still layering up my little shell card, just because I wanted it to be the same size as the photos, and at this point it wasn't. So I'm putting it on some white cardstock, which is what I do to my photos, and I'm just actually using some Rosie Studio 12 by 12 paper that's single-sided, and I'm obviously using the white side. Good way to use up single-sided paper, ladies and gentlemen, if you know you won't be wanting to use that paper anymore, but it is single-sided. It's great to use for matting photos and things like that. I often do that. And yeah, I'm just layering up. I'm putting 2 layers. Yeah, I've put 2 photo mats under each of my photos, not including my white layer, my white cardstock layer. And then I am going to create my layout. Now, as I said, I feel like I follow the sketch pretty well. The exception to that is where I put my title. Now, I changed where I put my title because I don't have a photo in that sort of the square that I'm working on now, and so that is a good place to put the title. If I did have a photo there and I had the 4 photos, I think placing the title in the middle of the photos like I have done in my sketch is what I would have done, and I think that would have worked quite well, but I end up placing the title on top of that kind of card with the shells. Now, this layout is not about the beach. We're inside. We are in front of my fish tank, so, there's like fish in the background and there's rocks and water. But we're inside of our house. We're not at the beach or in the pool. but I'm still going with it. I had this circle element from the sticker sheet, so a clear sticker, which I stuck down, and then I had an acetate piece from the ephemera pack, which I used in the opposite corner, and that's where I'm going to build my embellishment clusters. As I said, I only have the 2 embellishment clusters. I do end up popping one photo up, which will be the bottom right photo of Lincoln actually eating the ice cream. I'm going to pop that one up on foam, and the others are all going to be stuck down flat. All of my photos are kind of, it's not that that one's any better or worse. I just happened to like having that photo popped up in terms of I liked how it looked. And I liked having one photo raised. I thought it worked quite well. I'm actually trying to peel off the plastic backing on that acetate circle. You can't see me because I'm off screen, but that's what I'm doing. It took a while. I wasn't convinced that there was plastic on it to start off with, but I got it off in the end, so there was. So I'm going to stick that down now. You can see the tape runner on the acetate, but I knew I was going to cover it up, so I was happy to just use my normal tape runner to stick it down. And then I'm just adding that card down. I'm going to stick my photo down, and then I'm going to work on my clusters. Now, I do go with a lot of like shells and some beach umbrellas. They're the main sort of, I guess, more summery things that I do put on this layout. I'm just going with it because it is summer when this photo was taken. I do have the watermelon on a stick, just because it's sort of like an ice cream. And that was the only ice cream embellishment I had in this collection. They did have a lot of ice cream embellishments in this collection, but I'd already used them all. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just creating my clusters. What day are we up to? Day 5. So how are we going so far? We're almost a week into September. Is anybody creating along? Is anyone using the prompts? Have you been enjoying it? Have you used the playlist? Oh, I should say, if you would like a copy of this sketch, it is up in the Scraptember Facebook group. So if you want to kind of keep this sketch for use, in September or later, it is up on the Scraptember Facebook group. It's public. You can use it. All of the sketches will be up there. So as I said, there's 4 this month. So please feel free to join the Scraptember Facebook group. I'll leave it in the description box down below. We're not particularly active on there in any other month but September. We sort of dip in and out, but it's not a super active group apart from the month of September. So, if you want to come and join and get the sketches, that's where the sketches are. They'll probably also turn up on Instagram on the day that they're released. But if you want them earlier, you'll be able to see them in the Scraptember Facebook group because all the prompts are live over there. I'm just sticking everything down. I'm trying to add something from the chipboard sheet to both of the clusters just because it provides a little bit of different kind of texture to the clusters, and I'm obviously trying to use up things. Those 12x12 chipboard sheets take up a lot of room in your stash, so I'm doing my best to use up as much of that as I can. I've added in, I think I got a couple of stickers from the sticker sheet on the page as well, which I'm super happy about, and then a few other embellishments that I had fussy cut from the clear sticker sheet. I'm not sure, I think the watermelon on a stick is actually from the ephemera pack, but I've used most of the ephemera that came in the ephemera pack. I said this in one of my other videos. They were very large ephemera pieces, and so they got used up on my day 3 layout, the layering layout. If you watch that, you'll know what I mean. I use them to layer behind my photos. So I'm really just sticking. I am nearly finished. I'm really just sticking bits down, and then I'm obviously going to come in with splatters like I always do. But yeah, I'm loving it. Do you think it looks close to the sketch? I do. I'm really happy with it. And actually, I get to use Christy's sketch next as well. Or it's not the next video, but it's soon. It's coming up soon. And I'm really happy with how that one turned out too. All the sketches look great. Because of the way we divided up the days, I don't get to do Laura's sketch or Jess's sketch this month, but I will probably save them away and use them as inspiration again sometime soon. Although I'm super excited because October, Christy's doing another round of 30 days of sketches, so I might try and participate in a few of those as well while I'm on a roll with video creating. Nearly finished, just seeing if there's anything else I want to add from the sticker sheets. I thought about adding this little bike, but then I was like, no, it's not going to work. those clear stickers I find really difficult to use. I think I do add a word phrase piece into each of the clusters. One says let the journey begin, and then one says happy moments. So I'm going to add those, and then I'm pretty sure I come in with my splatters and we will be done. So not much else to tell you. Just don't forget to check out the description box for the link to the playlist. I will, of course, link to Laura and Chrissy directly. So their channels will be linked, but otherwise we just thought the playlist was a much better way to contain everything rather than a billion links in people's description boxes, and this way no one gets left out. Sometimes you forget people or links are broken, whereas this way people add their own videos to the playlist. So yeah, super happy about that. I am using a title that came in the thickers. So I use the word sweet and the word love. So sweet love, I mean it doesn't make a super amount of sense, but Lincoln loves ice cream. He's got a very big sweet tooth, just like his mother. So it works. Look, is it perfect? No, but I had it there. It works. I thought about adding those hearts on the thicker sheet as well, but they were just too big, and I wasn't vibing with it, so I left it off. And now I'm going to do my splatters and we will be all done. So I'm adding some navy Heidi Swapp Colour Shine and also some Heidi Swapp Colour Shine in blush. Again, I don't think you can get these mist anymore, but there's lots on the market. Lots and lots of options. I'm just trying to work through my stash. I love mists. I use them on most layouts, but a little goes a long way. I think my navy Heidi Swapp Colour Shine is almost out, but I've had it for years. So they certainly last you a very long time. So my close-ups are coming right at you, or my close-up. Thank you guys so much for watching. We have been really enjoying our creating so far, at least I have. I know it's only day 5 and there's a lot more inspiration coming at you. So look forward to hanging out with you for the month, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks guys, bye.